If I tell you,
Bunkmates here meaning like you share a room.
Share the same, yeah.
But how do you get like assigned to units?
classified information.
Yeah.
皆さんこんにちは。Reeracoen Singapore のRadzi です。
Some desk.
Max です。
Today we'll be talking about national service in Singapore.
First of all, how the NS works?
Okay, so basically, I think all guys in Singapore, as long as you're like a Singapore citizen or even for some permanent residents, once you're a male, able-bodied male above the age of 16, technically you're able to enlist in the army. But usually you guys will enlist at the age of 18 because we have studies and everything. So you can enlist between like 18 to about 20 years old, depending on what is your path of education. Yeah. So and you have to serve 2 years or 1 year and 10 months, depending on your fitness level.
Once you got the letter and you know when you will commence national service, there will be three what do you call it? Government bodies that you can be enlisted to.
3 sectors.
3 sectors. Yeah. Number one being of course the main bulk of the people who go national service is the army, and secondly will be police, and lastly it will be the Singapore Civil Defence Force, which is like the firefighters. Yeah. So basically these 3 branches. I will say. Yeah. Next.
So I think the whole purpose of national service in Singapore, why is it compulsory for everyone, is because we are a small country. And being a small country with no resources, other than making friends with other countries, we need to know how to defend ourselves. So at the start of the founding of Singapore, they came out with a law to say that every man must be able to know how to defend their country. So which is why they started to make NS compulsory and train us to be men.
Can you share with me what kind of experiences, what kind of sector you did, at which age?
So I enlisted when I was 20 years old, I think 20 years old. I was a military police, so kind of like a police in the army. So my experience was, I think, quite fun. I tried a lot of different things. Stayed in the jungle, dug a hole in the jungle, slept in the jungle. Yeah, so it's quite a lot of fun. We managed to learn how to fire different weapons. So yeah, it was quite an interesting experience.
What kind of weapon?
What kind of weapon is a secret?
Oh!
Yeah.
I cannot tell you. If I tell you,
Scary, yeah.
So yeah, usually after you enlist to either the army, police, or the firefighters, you will undergo like this thing called like a basic training. Yeah, so this basic training will take place 3 months or 6 months. Like I think for police officers they have a longer period. I think for army is
3 to 4, 5 months.
3 to 4, 5 months, something like this. But this is all compulsory. Like everyone have to go through like the basic training. So I remember the starting something memorable is that your first 2 weeks is what we call the confinement week. So when you first enlist, they will give you all the equipments, where your sleeping arrangement, everything. So within these 2 weeks confinement, you are not allowed to leave the camp. We call it. So it's really a harsh awakening, I would say, or like I don't know how to explain it, but it's really like imagine like you go before going national service, you are free to go anywhere apart from maybe your parents. They scold you, hey, why you go home so late, boy? Like this. But after once you go to national service, very differently. Like it's a very interesting experience for your first 2 weeks.
Interesting. It was very interesting because you get to see a lot of things you won't usually see in the normal life. First of all, they will drill you and they will make sure that you are disciplined to follow instructions and also to work with people. Yeah, work with people and also to be independent in terms of taking care of yourself. So yeah, so I think it's quite an interesting shift when you go from schooling and then immediately go into this kind of training. So yeah, that was very fun. I mean, at times it was very tough, but at least you have like friends together with you.
Well, one very interesting thing to share is that at the beginning of the basic training, right, everybody has to shave bald.
Oh yes.
So it's quite a like your once in a lifetime kind of experience.
Yeah.
So everyone looks the same. Yeah.
Everything you do, you need to ask permission. You cannot do things like your own way. So even if, let's say, you feel something itchy, you need to ask permission to scratch that itchy part of your body. Yeah. So that was pretty like, you can't do. Maybe the only thing you can do is breathe. Yeah, that's the only thing. Other than that, everything you have to ask for permission and go through the direct process, like the hierarchy process. Because when we started, we are considered recruits. Yeah, so recruit is considered like the lowest of the
class citizen.
Yeah, lower class.
Lowest life form.
Lowest life form. That's what they told us, like in national service.
How was the schedule look like out there?
This is a good question. Yeah, good
Very
question.
interesting. Everyone's schedule can be kind of different, but as a recruit, right, the standard schedule is you will wake up probably by 5 o'clock.
Yes.
5 a.m.
Because you have to get ready everything, get changed, brush your teeth, whatever, and you must be reporting at 5:30. So at 5:30, everybody will be what we call fall in, ready for the day to start. So at 5:30, they will take attendance, make sure everybody is here and everything. You brought everything along. So how we start the day is usually we do exercise. It's kind of like to warm up your body and to get you to break some sweat so you are hungry for breakfast. Right? So then after that, breakfast is usually at around 7 a.m. So you have breakfast, then after that they will start the day off at about 8 o'clock. So the day you can have different activities, you can have more physical training, you can have lessons, classroom lessons, maybe they teach you about the weapons, some kind of a history class also sometimes, practical lessons, so they teach you how to handle the weapons, more physical training. Yep. We do this thing called an obstacle course, so you climb up the wall, climb up the rope, things like that. Yeah, so basically it's a day filled with a lot of physical activities, a lot of punishment in between.
Yes. Of course, there's lunch. Lunch is usually
lunch is around
12. Yeah, around there, 12 p.m.
Then there's dinner from about 5 to 6.
Yes.
Yeah, so
Then after 5 or 6 p.m. maybe there will be some more trainings, or maybe some disciplinary issue rectification at night. And then things will start to relax a little bit at around 9 p.m. or 10 p.m. Then by that time you showering.
you're half dead.
Yeah. By then you're half dead. And then at around 10:30 or around 10 p.m. Is what we call lights off. Yeah. So lights off meaning everyone must be on the bed. And the instructors will off all the lights. And they expect us to sleep by then. Yeah. So we are not allowed to play with our phones, interact, or after lights out. Yeah.
So technically our day is scheduled from 5:30 a.m.
Yes.
up to about 9 p.m.
9 p.m.
So that's crazy.
Yeah. What?
15, 16 hours.
Yeah. 15 hours.
We only really get the own time we have is probably from 9 p.m.
1 hour.
Yeah, 1 hour.
Usually 1 hour.
Yeah.
So that 1 hour is really the best time.
Yes.
You can call your family and friends, and you talk a lot with your bunkmates. Share with them what you do as a real person instead of
Oh,
Yeah.
Bunkmates here meaning you share a room.
Share the same. Yeah.
With the people you sleep in. You sleep together with. Yeah. Because
Really?
16
16.
in one room.
How big the room?
The room actually is not so big because we use bunk beds, so it's double decker. So kind of like our office, but smaller. Half of the office, half of the office kind of size.
But how do you get assigned to unit or sectors?
Depends by a lot of factors. factors.
Classified.
Yeah, classified information that maybe some of us won't know or
Yeah,
won't get
but
to know.
basically, I think they sort based on the availability. Like because different units have like different requirements, like different time of the years. Because like for example now is it's like April, right? So maybe like in April, a batch of people in this unit has just finished, so they need more like a newer like recruits to come in, so they will take in some people. Yeah, but nobody really knows how
Yeah.
they get allocated.
Yeah, they say it might be IQ test, it might be your studies, a lot of factors that comes in.
Yeah.
Might be your physical strength.
So tell me about Reservist.
Reservist. Okay, so after the completion of your national service, either 1 year, 10 months, or 2 years, full-time national service.
Basically, you're a ready soldier.
Yeah, you're already.
You're equipped with all the skills.
You know what to do.
So after your ORD date, that is where you'll be called up again every year, at least once a year, and this thing is called Reservist. So during Reservist is where we will refresh on the things that we have learned and accomplished during our time in national service, and do some training with like your unit. Yeah, so this is how Reservist works. Yeah, more or less.
And at the same time also get yourself more familiar with the things that are new, that are updated. We also need to go through a physical test every year. We must pass. Okay, although government give us, I think, quite good incentives for us to pass, but either we have to pass the physical test, we call it IPPT. Yeah, so you have to go for 10 sessions of exercise, fully paid by the government. The government will still give you money to exercise. After you complete the 10 sessions, you are considered cleared for the year. Yeah, I think it's quite nice that government incentivize us to be healthy and exercise.
So which one was the hardest, Reservist or NS?
Okay, there's
Actually, it's very different. So that is when you do your 2 years. So when you're NSF, you're still very young. You're kind of a fresh kid, a young punk.
Yeah.
You're ready for anything. So it's difficult because you're still very childish, very immature, and you want to be out having fun. So it's difficult in the sense that you don't want to be stuck in the camp for like 5 days a week. Kind of tough. But Reservist stuff is, I think, you are so used to being in the aircon every day. Suddenly you are out in the jungle, crawling, you have like a mud on your face. You don't like that anymore. And it's like, why is it so hot? I want to go back to the aircon. It's a different kind of mentality. So yeah, that's I think, the tough part. It's something that people will find it annoying, I guess.
But definitely for sure, being an NSF is tougher. Yeah, because that's where you will build up, all your expertise, your knowledge as a full-time national service personnel, I would say.
I actually enjoy my reservist
Yeah.
because
It's like a holiday.
yes, I get to get out from work and really do things that are really very different. Like you just I mean, even if it's like touching the mud or all this kind of thing, carrying heavy stuff, right? Like you don't mind that kind of thing because you're not. I won't say you are not facing stress from work, but you are a bit of an escape from work, so that you can also catch up with the people that you were with in your NS days. So it's also like it's kind of fun this way.
The best thing is you still get paid.
Yeah,
Yes,
so it's paid.
yes,
So it's a
yes.
paid holiday.
Yeah, it's a paid holiday.
Paid by the government or?
Government.
Yes.
Paid by the government. So we still get our salary, but for example, like right now we are working for Reeracoen, right? So Reeracoen will pay us our salary as normal, then they can claim from the government.
Thank you so much, guys. Love you all.
Thank you. Bye bye.